All right, Paul, it's all yours.
Okay. This is my first general committee meeting, and I'd just like to welcome everyone. I would like to thank the Superintendent Lynch, school committee members, and the General Advisory Board committee members. I was hoping to have this meeting in person, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So I have a report written. I'm going to read it, and then I will give people a chance to ask any questions if they would like. So here we go. So because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we started school 10 days later than normal. Staff were given 10 days of professional development to ready themselves for the challenge of operating and teaching in the hybrid learning model. The hybrid learning model consisted of 3 days per week remotely and 2 days per week in-person learning. Unlike many vocational schools across the state, Whittier proved that we were up to the task of successfully administrating this model. On January 25th, Whittier administration implemented a revised hybrid learning model with sophomores and juniors attending an extra day of in-person learning in their vocational areas only. This proved to be very successful, and overall students were excited to be here that extra day. On March 29th, we pivoted again and implemented a full in-person learning for all vocational areas, which was 5 days per week. The administration and staff knew this was the right decision for our students. Here's some, in the report, this is some of the new additions to the vocational areas. In our dental department, we hired a new instructor. Her name is Caitlin DeVoe. She's a dental hygienist. She has worked out very well in the dental department, and her extra study groups that she has implemented with her students, they are now sitting and passing their Danby certifications for the first time since the start of the program. So this is a very big accomplishment. In our electronics robotics, we hired a new instructor. His name is Robert Hobbs. He took over the engineering and electronics freshman exploratory program and is now the freshman and sophomore instructor in electronics robotics. Mr. Hobbs brings a lot of experience in teaching and has a lot of accolades in the electronics and the engineering area. In our electrical department, we hired 2 new instructors. Brian Boucher, class of 1993, and Mark Tarosian, class of 2008. Both are Whittier graduates. We have 140 electrical students in the program right now, so that's why we needed to hire some more instructors. In our plumbing department, we hired a new instructor. His name is Eli Roy, and he's the class of 2014. Yes, a Whittier grad. In our HVAC department, we hired a new instructor, Scott Marchand. He's for the class of 1997, another Whittier grad. And then lastly, in our culinary department, we hired a new instructor, Christina Perron. She's a class of 1997. And as you can see, we like to hire our Whittier graduates.
I think it's important, Paul, if I can just jump in. They were our best candidates. You know, that's the great thing is, you know, we do go through a whole interview process and evaluation process. And our former grads always rose to the top as far as earning the position. So I think it's important to know that they do go through a process, and it's been really kind of fun to see that, you know, they've always wanted to give back to what, you know, the school that gave them so much. So just wanted to add that. Go ahead, Paul.
In our medical assisting department, we hired a new instructor. Her name is Beverly Stickles, and she starts next week, May 3rd. Our medical assisting department has been growing very, very, very quickly. We also hired 4 vocational aides, Mike Crosby. He is assisting advanced manufacturing in our masonry departments. Tim Rooney, he is used for vocational shop coverages. John Rumor, he is also used for vocational shop coverages. And Peter Vanier, again, to help us assisting in coverages in our vocational areas. The next part of the report is new equipment. In our CAD drafting and engineering departments, we have received over $300,000 from Governor Baker Skills Capital Grant and Whittier funding. They purchased 2 3D printers, 2 laser engraving machines, a 10-ton universal testing machine, and a number of computers and software. In our HVAC department, they received a complete overhaul with new equipment, thanks to, again, the Governor Baker Skills Capital Grant and Whittier funding. Over $500,000 has been spent in that shop area. That's where I did my welcoming video. It was in the HVAC shop. In our metal fabrication and welding department, we received a new CNC plasma cutter, which was valued at $38,000. In our advanced manufacturing and technology, we received 2 CNC vertical machining centers with 4th and 5th axis capabilities. And this was donated by Fairview Machine in Topsfield, Mass. Michael Moulton, president of Fairview Machine, is an amazing supporter of Whittier Tech and has given numerous donations to the Whittier Foundation and to the school. So we thank him really a lot for that. The next part of the report is, I called it Vocational Happenings. It's just some information that with some of the shops and what they're doing. So in our culinary and hospitality department, they implemented a grab and go menu for breakfast and lunch. The Poets Inn was closed to the public, so they wanted to give the students experience in serving and taking orders and using the point of operations and being able to use the technology that they have for credit cards and stuff like that. So they started this program, and so staff could go down and order their lunch, and they had it set up so that it was COVID-19 protocols were followed, and it was great for the staff to be able to get a hot meal for lunch and breakfast. They also offered a pre-order family meal, which was very successful. And it started out with students researching different countries' cuisines, and then they planned menus from that assignment. So the first offering that they had was on St. Patrick's Day. It was a corned beef and cabbage dinner, which included carrots, potatoes, soda bread, and green frosting cupcakes for dessert. The next family meal was an Italian dinner with choice of vegetable or meat lasagna, garlic bread, and cannolis for dessert. For both of these family meals, they took in over 25 orders for these meals. So with administration and staff, really enjoyed this successful project, and it made it very affordable. Dinners for 4 people, the cost was only $18. So wow. It was really good. The kids enjoyed doing it, and it was just a really neat, project that they did. In our health assisting department, during this year, Whittier Tech was fortunate to have already tested the juniors for their CNA certification before we got shut down last year in March. So most vocational schools in the state did not get that chance. So we were way ahead of everyone in that area. So as I reported in my fall winter meeting video, most of all these students worked during the COVID shutdown, and healthcare facilities.
Wow.
This year, juniors were able to fulfill their practical hours by scheduling and partnering with Baker Katz Nursing Home in Haverhill. This was a monumental task because of all the COVID regulations, and the instructors in the facility did an unbelievable job. Baker Katz made it possible to COVID test our students each week, and all of this was done following, again, strict COVID-19 guidelines. This school year, the Cna testing will be conducted May 5th and 7th. And this year's juniors have completed their practical hours. They received a 120-day waiver to be able to work in long-term care facilities prior to being tested. So we have juniors now working, 100% of our juniors are working now, and they'll be getting tested next week and the week after for their CNA certifications. That goes along with the 100% of our senior class, all on co-op in the health assisting department. You know, you hear a lot of talk about essential workers during this pandemic. We have a lot of essential workers right here with working out there. Our carpentry department, usually our carpentry seniors have enjoyed being able to work on outside projects for many years. This year, we have not been able to participate in any outside projects. However, that didn't stop the carpentry instructors and students from taking on school campus outside projects. Teaming up with our maintenance supervisor, Bob Hardy, the students re-roofed an athletic building and built 2 sheds that were needed around the campus. These projects saved the school funds and freed up the maintenance staff for other projects. Last part of the happenings is always an exciting thing here at Whittier. It's our Skills USA. Our students competed in district competition that was held March 12th here at the school, and it was done by remote testing. Some students tested in the school, and some tested from home. So we had students on their iPads in the gym, in the cafeteria, testing through the sites that Skills USA provided. And considering the fact that it was remote, students did very, very well again. And our medal totals were 11 gold medals, 13 silver medals, and 20 bronze medals. Tomorrow, April 30th, 29 of our students will be competing at the state conference championships at Blackstone Tech in where it usually is every year, but it's limited to how many people can be there. Some of our students will actually have their practical contests done here at the school in their shop areas. Some of them will be videotaped while they're doing it to, assure, fairness and everything. And then some of them will be at Blackstone competing. It's only a 1-day competition. So the students will leave early in the morning and probably get home, later that evening. So we want to wish these students the best of luck in their contests. We have, in the report, I have a new continuing education program. It's a marine technician evening education program that is being offered for adult education. Whittier has partnered with Massachusetts Marine Trades Association and Yamaha Marine to offer an 80-hour Yamaha Tech Certificate program. Yamaha has donated a lot of equipment to us, close to $30,000 of equipment, so that we will be able to use to train people in this certificate program. With Whittier basically on the Merrimack River and next to the seacoast, New Hampshire, and the North Shore, there are a number of marinas that are needing technicians. So we looked at this need and we felt that this was something that we could put through and get going. And they wanted us to try and have it in February, but it was too quick of a turnaround. So we're offering it starting in May. We capped it for 12 students to be able to take this program. We redid part of the auto tech department to take on this class, and it's looking really promising for that. It's an 80-hour Yamaha Tech certification program. We're hoping that this goes really successful, and we're planning on applying for Chapter 74 approval to be able to add it to our 23 other CVTE programs in the future. So that's about all I have for a report. So as you can see, we've been very, very busy this year, despite COVID-19 and everything that it has brought to us. So if anyone has any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
If I can just add in too, I know the governor made an announcement today about CTI programs at the vocational schools. We have had a CTI program here. We've had two that they're completing in welding and advanced manufacturing. And we're looking to continue to move forward with those types of programs, because it is our responsibility to try to provide a workforce for this area. So, you know, one of the things with marine technology, there's a real need in this area for technicians. So that's one of the reasons why we're looking at developing a program. So you start slow, you have a night school program, you see how that works, and then hopefully looking towards a day program if the need is out there within our community. So, you know, this school is busy day in and day out, and in the evenings. So we're a very busy place. COVID has definitely set us back. A lot of the night school programs that we have done have been remote, kind of like this. But next year, we're looking at bringing everybody back into the building. So you're welcome. Are there any questions for Paul and I that we can answer?
Paul, you said the outboard program starting in May.
Yeah. It will run till July.
How did you find an instructor? There's such a shortage of outboard mechanics.
Well, that's exactly right. We had 4 people apply. We interviewed 3. The gentleman that we hired is, he actually works for Boston Boat Builders, and he taught up at the landing school up in Arundel, Maine.
Yeah.
And that's where he graduated from also. And he lives in Haverhill. And he's like, I really wanted to see how, you know, teaching adults in this type of program would be like. And so we were happy to get him. So it would probably be easier to do the winter and fall and winter programs that we plan on doing, but we wanted to try and get this off the ground. So that's why we tried, pushed hard for it.
Paul, what's the name? Russell, I'm trying to think the person that's been really pushing the.
Oh, his name is Randall Lyons. He's the director of the Massachusetts Marine Trades Association. I had this in my mind about maybe wanting to pursue it, and so I reached out to a few people, and I got this gentleman's name. They are also paying for half of the tuition for this course, so it's a $950 course. They're kicking in $400 to help offset the price of the course, and donating a bunch of other stuff to us too. So we're in really good shape right now with getting this program going.
Right, you interested in taking it?
Yeah, I'm just interested in finding a mechanic.
Well, someone told me that when you own a boat, you have to learn how to fix it. So.
Oh yeah, no, you do that too. Yeah.
I mean, Paul didn't really hit on it that much, but this has been a really difficult year. You know, picture kids in masks all day long, and only in school 2 days a week, 3 days out. trying to teach some of the vocational programs. It has been a whirlwind for sure. I keep thinking I'm going to wake up and think that this never really happened, but the vocational staff have wanted the kids back into the building as soon as possible. So they're a lot of the reason why we've been able to move so quickly, because nothing can replicate that hands-on learning that students are getting in their vocational technical areas. So, hats off to Paul and to the vocational staff, because they were the ones coming to me going, can we please bring him back more? Can we please bring him back more? Can we please bring him back more? And so, this week has been our first week all in person with everybody. And, we have a couple kids getting into trouble, which is like a normal thing for high school. So it's been a year. So we're just really happy that our kids are back and to somewhat normal. You still have kids with masks. We're still required to wear masks every day, all day. So it's still pretty quiet. And we have desks up and down the hallways and in the cafeteria and lunches, and kids have to eat 6 feet apart. But we've found a way to make it work, and really everyone's done a fabulous job.
Yeah, and I'd like to also say that Superintendent Lynch has been really, really supportive about every idea that I had to try and get the kids back. And she's just wants what's best for the students. And that's our number one goal. So I think it's working out great.
Yeah. Mr. James, you're muted.
Paul, what about the program that we're sharing with Northern Essex? Where is that?
The concurrent enrollment?
Yes. No. The other one. Aren't we out at some of our shops?
So we were planning on going over there. Northern Essex has been shut down all year.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that has been on hold while we received most of the equipment. Us bringing our kids over there has been on hold because they have been remote all year.
Okay.
But the concurrent enrollment is going very, very well.
Yeah.
We have a
That's
lot
good.
of kids in that program.
That's good news.
Okay.
Any other questions? You guys miss having a nice dinner, don't you? I do.
Yeah.
And the dessert especially.
Next year.
I'm going to make my husband take me out for dinner just because.
Go for it.
Yeah. Well,
Have
thank
it paid too, Maureen.
So
Well,
thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead, Maureen.
No, I was just going to say thank you. I know you're volunteering your time, and I couldn't even feed you this time. So I do appreciate you getting online and meeting with us. And what you provide us really does make a difference, because we want to make sure when our kids graduate, they know what's available in the workforce and that we know what equipment we need to use. So really, I can't thank you enough for volunteering your time on this advisory board.
Yes, thank you. I have about 22 other meetings I have to jump on starting at 6 o'clock, because that's how other advisory board meetings are going to be going. So I want to thank you again for your time, and Maureen and school committee, thank you very much.
All right.
You're welcome.
Great job.
Yeah,
Bye.
great
Thank
job,
you.
Paul.